On Saturday night, it was not a good Saturday night for the New Jersey Devils. In Philadelphia, they lose by a score of 6-3 as they came in hoping, Chico, to end a two-game losing streak. And well, things started well, but certainly didn't finish well for New Jersey.
Nope, it didn't, Matty, and it was really a short period of time that you're going to get to that really drove the dagger into the heart of the Devils. They kept trying, but they just couldn't recover.
Yeah, the Devils lose 6-3. Looking at some numbers from this game before we get to the highlights. 5 shots tonight for Nico Hischier, 5 shots for Luke Hughes, 6 for Jesper Bratt, but all in a losing effort as the Philadelphia Flyers set a record against the New Jersey Devils as we check out some highlights from Saturday's action. And it did start out well for the New Jersey Devils. Philadelphia without a shot for some 6 minutes in the early going. At 6:18, Cam York is called for a hooking penalty. Devils go on the power play. Devils power play has struggled. Devils want to put some pressure on Philadelphia, feel good about themselves. Devils need some goals from guys they expect to get them but haven't gotten many as of late. Well, the power play gets cooking and the Devils take a lead. So here's Bratt in the far circle, moves to the corner, out to Dougie, looks to go cross ice, decides instead to give it to Bratt. Down low for Mercer, turns it toward the forehand. It comes to Hischier, his shot is stopped by Vladar. It's still loose, backhanding it off the side of the net is Meyer.
Oh, my goodness.
Now Hamilton, as the crowd responds, keeps it to Hischier. Finds Bratt, snapper goes high off the glass. Glove down by Meyer, he taps it home. A power play goal for the New Jersey Devils, and they take a 1-0 lead. Timo Meyer, as the Devils kept the pressure on. Everything going right. 5 shots on goal. They do score on that 5th shot during the power play. Puck recovery.
Yes.
Meyer scores. What more could you ask for?
No, they had the puck luck. Matty, that was as good a dominant power play goal as you're ever going to see. And you thought, okay, the boys got their heads on right, and let's go.
But unfortunately, the good times would only last so long. In fact, 1:23 before Noah Cates tied it up with his 5th goal of the season at the 9-minute mark. By the way, the Meyer goal assisted by Bratt and Hischier. But then it was Cates from Zamula and Konechny, and Philadelphia had tied it up. And then the onslaught began at 12:06. Matvei Michkov on a breakaway is able to beat Jake Allen, and Philadelphia takes the lead by a score of 2-1. Fans are just cheering that in the lead before Philadelphia made it 3-1. It was not Andre, it was 39. Matvei Michkov with the goal. That's my bad, Chico. And he's not going to miss those too often.
Oh, that does make a difference, yeah.
So my bad, they score again.
Forster.
Tyson Forster. And it's 3-1. It came 9 seconds after it was 2-1.
Yeah, and you're saying, oh, okay, enough.
But it wasn't enough. Philadelphia wanted more, and they got it.
Now, the Devils, from a big boat boost to being up 1-0, are now trailing 3-1.
Wow.
Yeah.
So here's Cates. Moves across the line for Forster. He scores! From the far circle. And was that a repeat? No, it was another goal.
Yeah, and that was the one that really stung. And I know it stung Jake Allen. Went right through his blocker and his body from far out. That one hurt. And, they all do, but that one especially, Matty. I think everybody was stunned on the Devils bench, and unfortunately even in goal, where Jake gave up one he very seldom does.
Yeah, and that was the play of the game, brought to you by Prudential, the Devils' official financial services partner. Goals at 12:06, 12:15, and 12:32, 26 seconds apart. That's the fastest ever allowed by the Devils, not only in New Jersey history, but franchise history. For the Devils, they allowed 3 goals in 51 seconds. Long time ago, November 6, 1983 against Chicago. Won that game 6-3. In franchise history, the Colorado Rockies gave up 3 goals in 28 seconds on January 4th, 1980. And the Devils rallied to tie that game against the Rangers 6-6. But there was a little bit of a rally, but the Devils not able to get anything out of it.
No, the push was there. The offense, in some ways, was there. The chances were there, but the goals were not.
Bobby Brink made it 5-1 in the second period with his 6th goal of the season. But before the period was over, Nico Hischier got the Devils on the board into within 5-2 with his 5th. Luke Hughes and Jesper Bratt with the assist. Into the third period we would go, and with some 6 minutes to go, Sheldon Keefe pulled Jake Allen, as we said, desperate times, desperate measures, and, well, Nico Hischier gave the Devils some late hope. Nemitz moving away from Hathaway, puts it on the stick of Bratt. Now it's on to Nemitz, who's in deep. Extra skater on for the Devils as Allen's gone to the bench with just under 7 minutes to go, but the Devils need 3, so desperate times mean desperate measures.
Well, yeah.
Now Bratt off a clear, drives it back in. York fires it around. It comes to Luke in front of the Flyers bench. Now to Nemitz for Bratt. Bratt moves up along the wall, top of the circle for Nemitz. The one-timer, he scores! Well, that's one. They need 2 more. Yeah, Hischier with his 2nd of the game, 6th of the season. Shimon Nemitz and Jesper Bratt with the assist. Bratt with a 3-point night. The goal at 13:27. But that was the end of the hope as the Flyers ended the scoring with Trevor Zegras scoring at 15:21, and they win by a score of 6-3.
Well, there were 2 encouraging points in this hockey game, Matt. The Devils scoring first really made us believe, okay, they might really have something that they need tonight that they haven't had the last couple. And then when they scored that goal, you almost think they're dominating. They're getting to loose pucks. They're moving it around, and the Flyers turning the puck over. You can just see they've lost their confidence in that goal. Well, let's go. It's 5-3. We can get 2 more. But
they didn't. They couldn't. And the scoring was ended by Zegras. And I agree, there were some moments, but that first period just put the Devils in a hole emotionally and, on the scoreboard, and they couldn't rally from it. And there's some work to do for the New Jersey Devils as they get ready for Detroit on Monday. Let's hear from the Devil who opened the scoring in the first period, Timo Meier.
Timo, what did you see on that sequence, the 26 seconds where they were able to get the 3 on you guys? Was it just kind of break down some mental issues or just bad communication? What happened on that?
I mean, just obviously plays that we shouldn't make. I think it's, you can't let a mistake affect you, and then, just kind of like in that stretch, we just let our guard down, and they capitalize on it. So, I mean, that was not great at all. We had a good start to the game, and then, that happened, and then you're chasing the game. And I thought, in the second, for some stretches, in the third, we knew what we had to do to have success. We just didn't do it for long enough, and obviously it doesn't help when you're doing what we did there for that amount of time where we got scored on a couple times.
How do you kind of build some of that? Because we've been talking about some of the mental resolve and toughness the team has had, especially during that 8-game winning streak. How do you kind of get back to that?
I mean, just the fundamentals that makes us, a good hockey team. We know what that is, and you're not going to feel at your best every night, but you got to find ways to, simplify, especially then when things might not be going your way. You're not feeling great, and you gotta just simplify. And just it comes down to the working hard, competing. Then the bounces are going to go your way. I thought especially in that stretch, we weren't competing. They were winning more battles, and that's at the end of the day what it comes down to, how competitive we can be.
Does it feel out of sync right now? Just like trying to find the right combinations of players and lines?
A little bit maybe, but that's where we're trying to do too much instead of just go out there, compete. We know our structure that we need to do to have success. So, and then, like I said, just work hard within that structure, and then it's going to go your way.
And it's been a long road trip. Looking forward to getting back home in front of your fans, maybe kind of getting some home cooking. You've had a lot of success at home, obviously.
For sure, at home in front of our fans. Kind of not the result we wanted on this road trip, but now it's how we react as a team to this, how we're going to go to the next game, and how we're going to compete there. So we got to be ready. And like you said, at home, we have our fans in the back, lots of energy. So we're looking forward for a bounce-back game at home.
And home cooking has been good for the New Jersey Devils, but some of those things we've heard before from players tonight. Timo Meier, simplify, play our game, but it's gotten away from the Devils.
Well, yeah, and I think they're trying to. And for me, it's never like they're not doing it. I mean, it is, but you say, why? They go up 1-0. Maddie, I mean, the goals they gave up, especially the 3 quick ones, what do you say? Well, you just didn't try? You came out of the system? I don't know. Like, that's what's mystifying to the coaches. They don't know why the players are losing their mental focus, and it's really costing them in terms of the scoreboard.
Well, speaking of the coaches, the head coach, Sheldon Keefe, spoke with our colleagues at MSG Networks following the loss.
Sheldon, obviously this is an unfortunate way to close out the road trip. We saw maybe a push in the third period, but overall not reflective on how your group wants to play every single game. How do you maybe digest a game like this as a head coach?
Well, you just look at how we managed. We managed the 2 shifts after we score. I mean, our power play goes out, works their ass off, scores us a big goal to get us on the board. The next 2 shifts after that really let us down, and gets them in the game, gets the crowd going, and then we just kind of unravel from there. Turnover, and then we don't take care of each other to give up a breakaway, and then we miss an assignment that we had talked about on a face-off play. We had talked about before the game. We missed the assignment. It's 3-1. So how you manage that is the game. There's good stretches in the second. There's good stretches in the third. But the game's lost in those moments.
Well, Sheldon, this is probably a stretch of hockey that is just uncharacteristic since you've been here. What's the message to the guys after this? Is it something you just move on from? You just say, hey, obviously we're not happy about that stretch. We just got to be better now moving forward?
What are you referring to, a stretch?
Just the stretch where you had the 3 goals against.
Yeah. I mean, it's reminiscent to Colorado, different times. That's been us, and until it's not us, that's who we are. So, I mean, you say it's uncharacteristic. Is it uncharacteristic? I would say that it is exactly who we are at this point in time, as inconsistent. There's stretches over this last 10 games where we've been right there amongst the best defensive teams in the league when you look at it statistically and what we've given up in terms of chances. And then there's games where the worst. So that's... When you're inconsistent like that, you're fighting an uphill battle every night. You're not quite sure what you've got.
Coach, when they scored the 4 quick goals, did you at all maybe consider a goalie change, or was it more about the play in front of him?
Well, obviously the 4th one Jake's going to want to have back, but the 3 before that, I don't think he has a chance at all. Of course, I thought about it in the moment, but for me, the team wasn't playing well enough, and I know Jake, he wants to be in there, he wants to be battling, and he was outstanding, I thought, the rest of the game. So, there's 6 that we give up, but I think 1 is the one that he wants back. The rest is all on the team.
You tweaked the lines a couple of times. Are you looking for chemistry right now?
I'm looking for players. I'm looking for guys that can play. We can't. You can only play guys so much. We need to use the bench. We need other guys. So you're kind of chasing it a little bit, and trying to find some things that work. And you're trying to take away ice time from different guys to try to send a message and get other people more involved. And then it kind of flips the other way, and you got to reverse course a little bit. But yeah, we're chasing it a little bit. But that's on the guys. They got to do a good job with the minutes that they get early in the game. I look at it, like I said, those 2 shifts after we make it 1-0 after our power plays out there and battle and get us a lead on the road. Those 2 shifts, from what should be our hardest working people, those are unacceptable, and that's something that we've got to address.
Any concern with particular? Like he tweaked something at the end there.
I'm not quite sure what happened. He did leave the bench, but he came back, and they thought he was okay. I just made the decision not to make him have to play through anything towards the end. But, yeah, there was something there that they told me he wasn't available for a period of time, but I'm just not quite sure where it's at.
Thanks, Sheldon.
And that is Sheldon Keefe, and that's good news, and hopefully everything works out for Arseny Gritsuk and will be in the lineup on Monday. But, yeah, I mean, he put the challenge out there, Chico.
Well, you can only really make excuses for so long for players. And, you talk about, we got the system. You got to play within the group. And what needs to be done. And I think what just is just overwhelming to him, and you could sense that he was a little more honest than some nights. But I think going up 1-0, and what did he say it 2 or 3 times? The next couple of shifts, we're putting people out there because when you score 1, you're going to think, okay, we don't want the other team to bounce back, right? You want to have a good shift to shut them down. And the opposite is, if they score, you want to have your next shift that creates something. So he thought he was putting out people that the next 2 shifts after the goal would just settle it down. But then they didn't, and so he was very straightforward when they said, well, what do you need the guys to do? He said, I just need the guys. I just need the guys to be there. I need the guys to get done what needs to get done. And you know what's really tough, Maddie, is if you talk to the guys he's talking about, and I'm not going to go break that down, those guys feel terrible. They didn't want to do what happened. They didn't want that to break down and then they get scored on. But he said, those are the moments you win and lose. You talk about all the rest of the game, doesn't matter. We always say, Maddie, it's the big moments. Do you score? Do you finish off? Do you make a big play defensively? That's what counts. It's not the other stuff that happens that usually dictates the game.
Well, the Devils have a lot to do, a lot to think about, and a lot to prepare for Monday's game against Detroit. As the Devils try to end a 3-game losing streak, we will have that contest against the Red Wings here on the Devils Hockey Network.